Hello there guys, good morning. You're going to have to forgive me because I am driving while on my phone, and that actually means that I am driving a shopping trolley. So I am not actually driving my car, I'm driving a shopping trolley. But anyway, in the shops, with this universal credits thing, the one thing that's been causing me an issue I don't believe it. You are absolutely fucking kidding me. Is this world gone absolutely totally mad? I was just about to say, one of the challenges that I have every month is making sure that I bulk up monthly on nappies. You are absolutely kidding me. You are joking me. So that now messes everything up because I needed one packet. Right, I'm going to have to do that. Right, £4. Oh, well, that's just screwed things up for me, just by changing that couple of pence. And I have to say, when I come into Asda today, I am assuming that shoplifting is going up by the mass because they have got... Oh shit, see now I'm going to have to skip the £5 for the petrol, and the petrol's on red, so this is really sort of buggering me up. So anyway, it's about monthly budgeting, isn't it? And when I only literally get £530 a month, and that does actually include that my rent has already come out of that. These are the aisles I love, but they don't go down low enough, don't they? These are the oopsie-daisy aisles. And of course, one of the biggest challenges that I have is for the last sort of week of the month prior to payday, I've got to literally just run around and make, a way around it. Obviously, a lot of people in this country have resorted to food banks. Tesco's, Asda is obviously not a food bank. In order to walk into this shop and put things in your cupboard later from this shop, you have to pay for it with cash. It has prices on. Things have prices on. Look, this salmon bass fillet is £2.97. But of course, that salmon ballet fillet has just been trafficked. Animal trafficking, guys. Animal trafficking. I have very short batteries. This is a very, very quick one. I've had an absolute crazy morning already. I've literally got up this morning to obviously the fact that I work for the Babylon State, and I am the child trafficker. I am the person who has children in order to offshore them to social services. That's who I am, according to obviously people who do not understand this persecution to people of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Obviously, I woke up very early this morning to the GP ringing me, and the GP has confirmed totally. Who do I refer you to, Kelly? You know the challenges with this services for how it is in the UK for EDS. Unless it is an absolute devastation situation, they just don't have... It's like going into A&E, so it's the A&E of the EDS community. Well, all of a sudden, I'm walking down here, I've already just done my fucking hip in, mate. I've literally just slipped my hip just by twisting the trolley to turn back this way. And it means that we have to accommodate, assimilate, and adjust to these situations. So I suppose at the end of the day, if someone made an accusation to you that you were a paedophile, so someone said your next door neighbour was a paedophile, right? And all the family sort of think, well, we don't believe that they're a paedophile, that's not quite right, but we really don't want to be associated to somebody classed as a paedophile. But the thing is, this person's not a paedophile. It's just that somebody's made an anonymous call, called them that, social and the police have been to the door, taken their kids, and now all of a sudden there's this hyped up frenzy of people around this family that are putting their windows in, making more things, ringing the police every time they come anywhere near their child. Sorry. It's alright, traffic jam. Right, I'm going to have to skip my petrol, and I need to go and get baby wipes, but I need milk because I can't think how many days I've got I mean, obviously Dean's paid on the 15th, but it is an absolute nightmare being together while we've got all of this stuff going on, because you know, it's just crazy, because he's got to deal with his fears to do with all of this, and obviously I've got to deal with mine. So anyway, I got up this morning and went to jump in the car, and my battery was flat yet again. Oh my goodness, seriously, are you kidding me over the baby wipes? Has the world gone crazy? At least mums out there are going, holy shit, if the shit is the fan, mate, I've got to make sure my kids are provided for. Wow. I think government really thought that this virus was going to spread like wildfires and dominate the country, that they were going to be able to drop in Agenda 21 and enforce the army and shut the borders and the gates. I mean, that's what they were hoping for. I do believe on the paintings that there was a main objective on how many people that they believed that it was meant to contaminate. But I've got to do more research, so, but at the end of the day, right, maybe I'll do £4 petrol. So at the end of the budget, this is what the week is about. It's about budget. This is £10. What does £10 mean to you? £10 can buy you what? £10 won't get you fags or baccy. That's not enough. You are under budget. £10 could be for what I've got in my trolley. So literally nappies. I've had to get the higher standard nappies though. And obviously baby wipes and milk. So at the end of the day, we as a human being, which is what they basically did with our birth certificates, and I don't want to get into it because my battery is going to go, but basically with our birth certificates, they sort of look and go, right, okay, so this person's going to need aka home, this person's going to need transportation, this person's going to need clothing, this person's going to need this person's going to need that, and they work out how much from the cradle to the grave basically that you're going to cost, and then obviously estimating it against your worth on what sort of curriculum have you chosen, what sort of career prospects have you got, what are your you know, sort of passions, ambitions, are you worth anything basically, are you basically somebody who's going to amount to something, or and you know, and basically live sort of an outstanding life, or are you just somebody who's going to be a cash cow for the state and basically live you know, really mediocre sort of living and struggling basically. So yeah, so my family, we are struggling, but the challenge in why we're struggling is because of the crossover of leaving the benefit system, because you have to make that leap over in order to not cross over into what would then be benefit fraud, so theft of the state. So as I was saying, we've come in here and it's like a prison at the front of Asda at the moment. They've got high security alarms that have been put in, and they're putting all the till alarms in and stuff like that. So this is what I say about the minority having to pay for the majority. So you're looking at my nose, but people are not used to somebody walking around living in the middle of Asda, and this is sort of pretty much what this world has become now, hasn't it? People walking around on their phones and stuff like that. So anyway, right, budget. So let me just work this out while I work it out in my head. So Kelly has £10 in her hand. Do you remember when you were at school, it used to say, if Peter had £2 and so-and-so had so-and-so pounds, and they went to the shop and they had to buy so many things, how much change would they have left? That is budgeting. That was basic skills to make sure that we as individuals knew how much money we needed for our lifestyle. The thing that I want to get into, and I'm a bit pissed off obviously because a bit of a crazy day. Thank you to the garage again for letting me use their jump starty thing. But again, today was personal responsibility. I left the fucking lights on again. I have had my alarm going off all night, and in fact I have just had to drive from where my car is around to the garage going, please, how do I turn it off? You know, my alarm would just not stop. And it was like, okay, so that's what life's like for me at the moment. I'm walking around with this beacon alarm, basically just going, trauma. You know, it's like somebody who has been through sexual abuse and lives with what they've got to go through. And so anyway, I spoke to the doctors today about going and speaking to a therapist about this, and she's basically just written that the external stuff, the cause of the services and the lack of support and stuff for a family is causing such pressure and stress to me that, you know, it's not that it's mental health. It's not, she did offer me antidepressants. That was the first thing she offered me. Would you like some antidepressants? I said, well, no, because antidepressants is dealing with an internal chemical balance, and I'm dealing with an external pressure and force coming against me. To take antidepressants would be the completely wrong answer for depression. And it's like, this system has completely got everybody just, hey, take a drug, hey, take a pill, hey, take a pill, hey, take a pill, hey, give a pill for this, hey, give a pill to that, hey, label this and give a pill to that. You know, you've got ADHD, let's give you Ritalin. You know, you've got depression, let's give you this. I've got Oromorph coming up in my head for some reason. So I don't know what Oromorph is. So if anyone knows what Oromorph is flashing up in my head for some reason. So the Lord is telling me this is a drug that obviously needs careful guidance and watch on it. It's just literally my head is going Oromorph. Welcome to the mind of crazy Kelly Cotton. Already become all crazy angel, so don't mind that one. So anyway, it's about dealing with people who see you differently than you see yourself. You all right there, sir? Do you want a bit of a hand?
I'm right, thank you, my darling.
Are you sure? I don't mind, Governor.
Oh, you're lovely.
Go on, don't get your pride in the way. Do you want me to grab something for you?
Could you just check? I want to know if they can go to the microwave because they can't.
Not a problem, not a problem. Don't worry about it, it's not a problem. If they can go in the microwave. Yes. The product has been cooked, in a microwave before eating. Hang on a minute. Spread the chips, burger together, microwave plate. There you go.
Perfect. Thank
Shot,
you
you all right?
Thank you, boss.
Let yourself get out there first, darling.
Thank you so much.
There you go. It's all right to accept help. You're all right. You're all right. You're all right. Right. So anyway, my battery's going to go, and I've got to shoot back. I think Dean's got to go and get some stuff done. I don't know if he's gone or going, but I really just could do with sitting on the sofa with my laptop. Then the boys play with their train stations and cars, and you know, watching some films and stuff like that, and letting. Oh, that's brilliant. Now, there you've got somebody actually doing empowerment. Now, that's it. Now, that is enabling someone. Love it. Love it. Love it. Now, that's a real carer. She's got a girl with Down syndrome with her. And the Down syndrome, I hate saying the Down syndrome, but she's got a girl with her, and she's taking the time for her to scan all the items. She's taking the time for her to learn to budget. She's actually walking around. So that's what I'd do. I think if I was going to have to take a job, if they make me put the boys in nursery and I've got to actually take a job, I think that's where I would go. I think I would do that. That one's working, isn't it? Is it cash only? Oh, okay, cool. Where are we grabbing carrier bags from? Just the one, please. Thank you. This is what annoys me. I just want to carry a bag at the end of my fucking thing. So anyway, I'm on camera. Here we go. Hello, you're on camera. So this is the world. Like I said, the majority are having to pay for the other way around. The minority are having to pay for wrong way around. Again, the majority are having to pay for the minority. Because at the end of the day, the majority of people are not bad. The majority of people are just literally trying to make a living. Thank you, darling. That's it, darling. And not cross a line into criminal activities because they know that's not who they want to be. However, some people have, and money has become a necessity to the point that they are willing to shoplift. They are willing to screw people over. They are willing to, £7.60. So they're £7.06. I might put the rest in my petrol, who knows. I might have to keep it now and just get the car back. One bag, honesty, I have one bag. I'm not shoplifting a bag. So I'm being honest that I have a bag. Yeah, but some people haven't got that honesty and integrity in them. They don't have that Jiminy Cricket that sits on their shoulder, because they don't have that consciousness that says that what I'm actually doing is screwing over another person. What I'm actually doing is causing the harm to another person, and that their jobs, or not even their jobs, but it's not even about the job, it's about the job provides the security for the home and the income to make sure that obviously the majority of the world, as in the working class, aren't just living off that. And this is the challenge with budget, and it comes to money and how much money that you actually have. Sorry, darling, is she able to just get through?
And I'll speak to you in a little bit.
Fucking people are ignorant, aren't they? They can see somebody's clearly got a scooter, and you're welcome, darling. And they can see, and they just stand there so ignorantly. It's as if to say, I don't give a shit whether you actually have a little bit more of a struggle than I do. And people can't even move out of the way. Oh shit, I have shoplifted because I only asked for one bag and she's giving me two. I was going to see if anyone didn't want to have to buy a bag. So anyway, I'm going back home in a minute. Well, actually, I'm going to stop off at the iPhone shop. I have broken my screen. I've dropped it 3 times. I'm struggling to deal with holding it as the size of my hands and my EDS spacker hands. And, oh, there's a spare carrier bag. Seriously, my conscience now wants to give the bag back. It really does. This is the fucking, seriously, my conscience is I hate Jiminy Cricket. I hate it. It's a fucking bag, but it's my conscience. Excuse me, love. I only asked for one bag and I've only paid for one bag and she gave me 2. So as much as I'd love to walk out, Jiminy Cricket's going, it's still shoplifting, it's still shoplifting. Seriously, fucking Jiminy Cricket does my head in. I hate having a conscience. Sometimes I wish I didn't. Sometimes I wish I could absolutely be an absolute cunt and be nasty, you know what I mean? Sometimes I just wish that I didn't have this point. Like, I'm actually chatting to a friend of mine who gambles, right? And he makes a minimum of £100 a day on the horses, minimum. And makes quite a bit of money. And he's like, look, just come with me, we'll sort all of this out. And he's like, no, I can't. And this is even someone playing with their money for teaching me, for me to then play with their money to get started, and I can basically take whatever it is. And it's like, yeah, fantastic, great. I can do that, and I can go and buy a house and a car and land and build my home and, you know, all this sort of stuff. But do you know what will happen? The house would set on fire, the car would crash, anything that I paid for with that money would just burn. And that would be because the Bible made it very, very, very clear about gambling. He made it very clear about gambling. Is life a gamble? Yes, I'm getting in my car right now. I could turn around, reverse it, smash it into that wall, drive down the road and crash my car. Of course, but you can live in that fear. You can live in that, I'm not getting in that car because I might crash it, possible future incident. Or you can turn around and go, well, I could get in that car and it's not really a problem. But when it comes to crossing lines, it's like when I was escorting as well. I remember coming back from Glasgow once and I'd done what was called an in-call, and it basically means that I'll turn up on a Friday night, I leave on a Sunday, and I fuck as many people who want to pay for me over that weekend. And I'll come back with, I think I'll come back with something like £8,000 or something like that. And I went into PC World on the way back and I brought TV. I brought a laptop, Sony laptop, brought the kids, like nano iPods and all the game things that they wanted. We did some stuff, and you know what? The laptop got broke, the things went missing, stuff like that. And it's like, even when I was going through all this with Aaron and Faith and I needed to go into a property, my friend said to me that he would be willing to, he couldn't give me a job, but he would be willing to put me on the books as if I worked for him so I could get a property. And it was like, yeah, that's great, but I'm then going to be in a situation where once you start weaving some form of lie, it's a lie that you've got to maintain. And my mum said, you're a fucking idiot, you should have taken it. And I said to my mum, it's not. I know my universe. I know how my universe works. You have to forgive my eyes, by the way, guys. I have literally been on off crying for nearly 4 or 5 days, and that's fine. And I met my personal trainer that I'm taking on, and he's taking me on, and that's great. It's this couple, and I love it. And I even said to him, like, there's chances that I could just be doing something and I might start crying. And he's like, it's fine, no problem. It's part of your healing. And it's like, okay, brilliant, not a problem. So anyway, out of a tenner, I spent £7 things on basics. I could go over to the petrol station and put this £2 in, but what I'm actually going to do is go and park my car up. I'm actually not. I'm going to stop off at the iPhone shop, and the guy in the Apple shop has basically said that I can take some photographs of what he's got in stock and put it up, and if I sell it, then they'll just give me 10% commission on it. Do you know what I mean? So that's another way of me making some money. But the problem is, if I make money, then I'm a benefit frauder. If I do what I did when I was with Aaron and Faith and burn the bridges and kick the system away so I can move on, then I'm going to be free falling, and the system is going to be coming in on me again, as they already are. This is the problem. This is the problem when you step into your true elements of your purpose. There are always. I posted a video. Please watch it, guys. I posted a video with what's his name? The guy from. He's an actor. Please watch it. He says what I say in a way that he can say so much better, because it's coming from somebody who's been there, somebody who's crossed over the river, somebody who's walked away from the people who say no, he can't, and has moved away from the people that are holding him back, and has had to go, I'm sorry, I know you're a kind, lovely person, but you're not on the same train as me. You can't go as fast as me, and it's holding me back. And that's okay to do that. And it's okay to say to people, look, you're looking at me through this perspective. You're looking at me as if I'm the paedophile next door. You're looking at me as if, because my kids were taken, as in Aaron and Faith, and because I keep repeatedly having these matters going on. And today with the car, you know, I thought the battery had finally given in. It wasn't. I had left the lights on again. When it is personal responsibility, I love it. When it is something that I have done wrong, as in keeping off, on, yes, that I hadn't turned the lights off appropriately, which is cause for my battery to go, which is cause for everybody in that residence to have to listen to my alarm all night, then I'm duly sorry, and I apologise to the people around me. But when the people around me are saying my car alarm is going off and it's causing such a fucking disturbance, but some arsehole's gone and kicked my car, smashed my car up, broken into my car, and then people are being cunts to me, it's different. Do you know what I mean? And it's exactly the same as people turning around saying, well, then you've deliberately done it. You've moved your car over to this place to turn your alarm on, to deliberately do this to us. And it's like, but that's not true either. It was genuine. I'll come back to my car, my battery was gone. The battery, the alarm started going back off. You know, so obviously I'm aware that the alarm had been going on. That's not intentionally trying to hurt somebody. That's very different. What is going on around me now is difficult. So I said to the doctor, but can you at least tell the social workers what people are not understanding is that people like us with this condition, diagnosed by specialists, by people who understand, who've done the research for a real condition that exists, that not just I carry it, there are people within my family that do, and there are also many other people in this world that are labelled with or challenging to be labelled with this condition, for people to understand why we are facing the challenges that we are. And I said, so she's asking me to explain what's going on. I said, but yes, if you're talking to an EDS specialist, you wouldn't have to do that. All you have to say is she's under duress stress and it's putting pressure on her body and her body is relapsing. And an EDS person would understand to the point, right from my brain to my mental health to my physical body to how I'm dealing with it and how I'm coping with it, because they're coming from a very different point of view and perspective. They're not coming from a lay point of view of somebody that doesn't understand what that is. It's not like somebody going, oh, that's that clicky thing with hypermobility, like the barrister did with Aaron and Faith to take them away, you know. And it's not getting that. And also understanding the Asperger's, the Aspie side of me. Like, take for example, do you want me to show you something that Asperger's people do? I'm feeling quite anxiety, quite stressed, quite anxiety. I will show you exactly what somebody with per se Asperger's does, and I'm just going to point it down. So literally, oh, where have you gone? So literally, I am just literally just sitting here. I'm completely still on top bottom. Again, guys, I have had 4 or 5 days of crying. I've barely slept. I know I'll come on camera, but I have got very puffy eyes. I am very tired, and you know, yeah, very tired. Someone actually made a comment that I was drunk online the other day, and it was like, you a fucking idiot, I don't drink, you muppet. And that's very dangerous in my life right now. These are not pissed eyes, these are just literally somebody who's, and I don't mean just like little tears, I mean I have had proper breakdown, fucking crying over all of this. So yeah, in order to deal with that, somebody like me would regulate my emotions, because at the end of the day, why have people got a problem with me being Asperger's? People got a problem with me being Asperger's because it's about emotional emotional regulation. So it's about how I control my emotions. It's about how I'm affecting and reacting to the people around me. And because they keep saying my challenges with professionals, and if the kids are around, what they're basically saying is, if I raise my voice and shout and I'm aggressive towards professionals, then I'm teaching my children to also be, this is the exact words, to be aggressive towards them to the point that they won't trust them, and if they're ever in trouble would not go to those services. Yes, I get that, but if my kids are in trouble, they come to me and their dad, and if it is something that we warrant the services for, we would use it. It was just that we would protect ourselves against the fact that you might be dealing with, like, okay, here's the irony. You go to social services and they want you to deal with the current matter in hand. The police come to you and they're dealing with the matter in hand, but they want to look at your historic to see how to deal with you. So it's like, you know, that's gaslight. I said this to the doctors. I said, look, I said, if you were all trying to say that I'm in a DV relationship, which is what they're basically trying to say, and what the people who have such concerns about me and stuff, and yes, there is volatile going on over the fact that we keep having social. When we don't have social, we don't have problems. When we have social, then we have problems, because then that puts the kids at risk, and then I'm the one that is being investigated, which means then I get it in the neck for Dean, because it's putting the kids at risk. And people have always wanted me to come away from Aaron and Faith because they believe that that puts the kids at risk. And it's like, people are expecting me to just cut off from Aaron and Faith. Like, seriously, are you fucking crazy? Like, sorry, no disrespect to Dean, Elijah and Shiloh, and I love Elijah and Shiloh with all my heart. They are 2 and 3. They've been in my life, what, nearly 5 years. I am 41 years old. These are strangers. I know Elijah and Shiloh. Dean, I know to the point that I don't know him anymore, or I do know him, or who the fuck is this man? And, you know, and everybody else, no disrespect, but all the people that come after I changed my gag, broke my gag, you're all strangers to me. You know, you're not with me. You're not with me every day. You're not waking up with me in the morning talking to me. You're not there with me, you know, going through these things. Yes, you get my vlogs, so you get my journals, but you're not interested in me. You're interested in what I can do for you in terms of, you know, gobbing off at these people to stop the system. And at the end of the day, that's never going to happen with one person. It's never going to happen. I think XR, whatever you think of XR bringing in, you know, the One World Order and who's funding it and everything like that, what they taught you was the collective of people, and a message that can't be blacked out by the media, that you need to go to those sort of direct action points of view to get heard in this country, because people ain't listening, and they're not. And it's not that we're going out going, everyone's going out kidnapping kids. We're saying people are not understanding people. People are not understanding people, and they're asking us to then walk through this door into these education system pits, or these working facilities where people have to understand. And it's like, you know, even the car alarm going off, when you turned that car alarm off, I cried. How many people would understand what a car alarm going off would do to somebody like me? But it's not my fault. It's not something that I can change. It's not something that I can beat myself up about, that, you know, I was so bad to myself, or I did all these things, or I did something. I was born this way. I was born this way. Where am I parked at the moment? Oh shit, I'm still at Asda, I need to go home. You know, I was born in this physical body. I was born in this brain. I know me, I understand me. And this is what I said to the doctor. I said, I know how to manage my condition. I know how to deal with the children. What we need is when we need to respond quickly, and obviously the childcare elements around it, and obviously you educating these muppets that when you know, don't look. With somebody with Asperger's, there has to be a transition period if you're going to be putting them into these stuff. So if, say, per se, a autistic child turned up at school and they were going to change their teacher on them that day because the teacher was sick, you wouldn't take that child into the classroom. You wouldn't immediately do that. Well, you'd have to, or the classroom, you'd have, if it was a full-blown all autistic in that classroom, if you want to teach them as stuff that's among the institution, rather than very gifted, talented people who actually have a right to life just as much as you ignorant arseholes. We are the upgrade. Learn, deal with it, accept it. And if I'm misdiagnosed, then I'd be very, very sad. If I ever find out that I have been misdiagnosed with Asperger's over my trauma, my mum doesn't believe I'm Asperger's, whatever. She says I have friends at school and things. I didn't. I just knew everybody. I just talked to anybody and everybody. Or nobody, depending how I was feeling. At the end of the day, if they actually did turn around and say it's trauma, and it is trauma, we've misdiagnosed it, I'd be gutted. Because that makes me a lowlife, just like fucking the people that don't want to use their brains, you know what I mean? But it's very clear, it's absolutely clear. Even the person that diagnosed me, she said she could tell straight away of the elements of tools that the chameleonization that I had already masked on my communication with people. She said it was so like that, and if you take that away and you show the full-blown Asperger's or autistic side of me, then I think people can go, you mental, you crazy, you mad, because at the end of the day, you know, if like I do, if you keep pointing that you're not just dealing with an EDS autistic person, you're dealing with an EDS autistic person with repeated systematic abuse and misunderstanding of me as a personality and a character and as a business plan, and you know why you can come and sit down with me and I'm not asking you to pay for my time and service per se. Is that my problem? Is that my issue? Is that something I've got to get over? Or is it actually that people who claim to be healers shouldn't be charging people? The Lord will bless you in the right way, basically. Do you know what I mean? But I tell you what, my complexion is starting to look a lot better. I've been sort of increasing my water. I must get a water filter. In fact, I must speak to James. I've got an affiliate link. It was meant to be going out on a daily basis, but until I can get my social media running, where like first thing in the morning when it's your glass of water, my affiliate link is going out with the lovely post that says, you know, about your water, and you know, all of these things are running the way that, you know, it needs to be and must be, and I will get full control of all of this again. I have to. I can't cope with it anymore, because every day my social media, away from what I'm doing in terms of the campaigning, but as what I'm doing, there's my social media should be hitting 6 figures every day. I don't know any other coach and affiliate marketer who isn't pulling in ching each day on their affiliate links. And you have to be consistent. You have to make sure that schedule stays. And like I've been trying to get Amber to understand, I'm not moving forward until you get Monday morning motivation right. Because if you can't get the basic fundamentals of getting up on a Monday morning and setting your whole week and thing right, then there's no point even dealing with you about Friday, because you're just going to fuck everything up. And if you can't get them fundamental first steps of you know, truly implementing foundational purpose living, and that's literally how you schedule your life. You know, life will either happen to you or you schedule life and make it happen, and that's what I came here to teach. But the problem is I've been teaching it to people who have been part of my life in helping me do it, but they've been keeping me where they are and not where it is that I've been trying to get me to consistently with this condition. I need people around me that when I pip out a schedule, they're able to keep things flow, like a father at home with the kids. Well, you're not just responsible for the kids. If there's a wash load that still needs to go on, that drying still needs to happen, the pot still needs to be cleaned. When you cook, you have to wash it up and put it away into the cupboard, you know. So once you take a plate out of the cupboard, it has to go back into the cupboard. It can't just either stay on the side or rotate to the washing pile or rotate to the dishes. It's got to do that whole thing and back in. And for me, I need you know, very, 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 what's the word, very disciplined people, because I'm a very self-disciplined person, because I have to be, because I have to run my body like an absolute ship. Like, my body has to be run. I'm absolutely killing. I've taken another sort of jaw twist, and all the back of my head is absolutely killing, all the back of the sides of all the way through and a lot of it is the stress, because I already have headaches. I already have to a certain level. So at the end of the day, stress is like, imagine what's the word, I've got the sun in my eyes now, even just this, yeah, so even this, so put everything on it, but I would imagine something longer. You put everything you're dealing with on it, eventually it sort of bends down, and then it gets to the point where it just cracks, and that's that line, and that's sort of that line, isn't it? And it's got to make sure that you get them foundations underneath it, so you can take the pressure of everything that's on you. And I keep being around people that burn me out, and I end up burning from both ends, and that doesn't work with somebody like me, because then when mum goes down, the ship goes down. When the ship goes down, everybody in it goes down. And that's what I said one day prior to Aaron and Faith being taken, that I was living somewhere where kids were being taken on a regular basis, and I had to get me and the kids the fuck out of there. But we'd just set up, docs got there, and if I left, it was going to cause problems with me being homeless. But I felt that me and my children were not safe there, and I wanted to get out. And obviously it was literally the next day, and my intuition must have been screaming at me to get the fuck off site. And I did put out to sort of say to people, and people go, no, don't be so stupid, you're being paranoid. And I was like, no, there's something wrong with this place, which is why I wish I still had my original accounts, because all of these comments and posts would be there. And it did get sent into an email, but there's this system where you've got to get into it, and I just have never had the time to sit down in my email. I mean, my emails are a mess. I mean, this is why I need a PA. You know, I'm struggling with my memory and everything, because I have no system in my email structure, no order, no filters, nothing. And that doesn't work for me, because I already struggle with them boundaries and them filters. So, you know, I can't have that resistance, because if it causes stress in somebody like me, then it causes straight high anxiety, then to streaming, and then to behaviours that people feel is out of character and out of normality. To then people are pointing fingers about whether this behaviour is around my children. So what? My children should understand. And like I said to Elijah, you know, today, just tell people, just don't trigger me mum, don't push me mum's buttons. If you don't push my mum's buttons, if you don't trigger my mum off, she's fine, it's no problem. That's what Liam used to say, you know. But if my mum's in an environment that's not right for her, you know, so just don't put her in that environment. And this environment's not right for me. But in order to get to the environment that's right for me, I need money. And in order to have money, then I have to be going to work. Somebody like me with my physical body can't do that to that level. So therefore I have to do it the way that I did it. And that was to put it on social media so I could work like this. So it wouldn't matter what position I was in, I could continue to work. So, but for literally 5 years, I had a professional social media person when we were doing Work for Justice and all of that. Hence why it worked the way that it did. Since I haven't, it's meant that I'm down here on little, you know, 5, 10, 15 people, or up to 100. Wow, the message is really getting out, innit? So anyway, little Bo Peep has lost their sheep and doesn't know where to find them, and I need to go to Wales, and by hook or by crook, and Nelly the elephant needs to go and pack a trumpet and set off to the circus, and that is probably going to be where the specialists are. Seriously, I hate seeing these fluorescent, even police and stuff, and it's like, just, people can say, well, don't do anything wrong, and it's like, well, I used to believe that as long as you didn't do anything wrong, as long as you were a law-abiding citizen, you didn't have them hassles. But this mental health thing is causing problems, because it's like, so what? So what if I have mental health? So what? So what? I loved my kids. I still love my kids. I will always love my kids. I miss my kids. I image with my kids. I have to deal with that, and I have to deal with the present moment, and I have to deal with people who are just constantly keeping me out of line with who I am. I'm waking up every day to the energy and residual of other people, and it's like, I can't cope with that. So anyway, I need to go home. I need to go and deal with all this Muppet fucking bullshit crap. and I need to get over to the courts. I said by 4 o'clock Friday. It isn't happening. It's not getting lined up, and I'm getting more and more ripped to pieces because my social media is getting checked out every day, and these people are reporting it every day on their perception on how crazy they think I am, and making phone calls. And until I have the right people around me, it's not going to represent somebody who is a working mother, and I have to be a working mother. Being a working mother is the way out of this. There is no other way out of this, and I've put my life on hold to give people chances for way too long, and to be too nice, and to be too. I'm not here to please people, but right now, people who are hindering my life are cockroaches. And I need the cheerleaders. I need the people who are keeping me going. I need the phone call that I got the other day from people from my old world who said, look, actually, I've been watching, and I just want to tell you, to keep going. The well done. Actually, you're really fucking impressing me. And it's like, wow, thank you. I didn't even know you guys were still around. I didn't even know, that you were here. And it's like, so now people are going, but how can we help? And I have to represent who I am, because otherwise I'm just a fraud and a fake. And I'm getting called a fraud and a fake because somebody else runs my social media. And I got to take control of my office space again. So, but hats off to Amber with her learning her graphics and what she's learned. For what Amber's done personally, fucking amazing. But where I am, I'm in a 1-bedroom flat with a budget of £10 and £2 something left in my pocket. And that's not good enough, because I should be making no less than £100 a day, no less, minimum. Bog standard minimum of doing this is £100 a day, bog standard minimum. I don't know anybody that does social media platform that makes less than £100 a day. In fact, actually, most coaches on coaching ability, you're on consultation, so, yeah. Does money matter? Yeah, of course it does, because at the moment in this lifestyle, even that wall costs. To build that wall costs cement, bricks, and someone's time. And not someone's time, but someone's sweat, someone's tears, someone's vision, someone's creativity. And somebody had to leave their family to do stuff for others. So if you're going to leave your family, if I'm going to have to leave my kids to go and serve other people and work, then it's going to be in something where when we do get the time off, that I can give that kids that lifestyle. But that's not what I came here to do. And I've told people straight, mate, you push me back into this 18 years institution life where I'm going to have social in and out on me, then I'm going to hang myself right outside your front door and show you, don't push me. You just push me too far. I know me, I know my life, I know what's best for my kids, I know what it is that I'm trying to achieve, and it's time that everyone that didn't get it just fucked off. And on that note, goodbye. To the cheerleaders, fantastic, and I really hope you got cheerleaders in your own lives. To the fucking vampires, seriously do one.